I tell people I might be the smartest guy in the world. I figured out how to drink beer and play with cars and get paid for it.
Yeah, but it's like it's a fun show. It's like you're not taking yourself too seriously. You're having a good time. You know, you're buying and selling awesome cars.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's it was a dream of mine to get it done. It took 8 years to get it sold, but here we are now.
Did it really?
Yeah, I started pitching the show in 2004. We didn't start till 2008 or 2012.
What were you doing before that?
Before television or before Gas Monkey?
Yeah.
I kind of had two stages in life. I was a firefighter, police officer, medic before I was old enough to drink. I mean, I'm talking 19 years old, carrying a gun. Probably one of the smartest things for them to let me do. And then,
Damn, they let you have a gun when you were 19?
I had a badge. I was a cop. I mean, literally, I was a police officer. And so by the time I was 20, I was also a firefighter. And so I did that for a while, and then moved into printing and advertising, and then sold that and got into this.
So was it just like something you just always into cars, and that's what led you to the show?
You know, how would I tell the story diplomatically? Realistically, I was watching the shows that were on TV at the time. I've always been a car nut and a motorcycle guy and what have you. And I realized one night that my kids are never in the room watching it, and my wife's not in the room watching it, you know. And the shows that were on were a little bit too much bravado, and I'm a tough guy, and you know, so I dug it, and all my buddies dug it, but the wives and stuff, and I was like, golly, they're missing a big chunk of the market here. If you could tone down that part of it a little bit and still have a cool brand and still be a cool guy, you know, and get the moms and the kids in the room, hopefully it's a lot more successful. And so that was kind of where the idea came from, and I just went out and started it.
That's interesting. So the marketing side of you kicked in.
Uh-huh.
So the marketing side of you went, I think there's another way to do this.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still a tattooed guy with some jewelry, but you know, I got a poodle on a leash, not a pit bull on a chain. You know?
Well, the show, it doesn't seem compromised. That's what's interesting about it, because it seems like a kind of a guy's show. I never thought about it that way.
Well, the way I approached it was just like when I was a kid, and my dad had a garage, not open for public garage, but he had a place that we kept his car, and the neighbors would come over and they tinker and they drink beer, and that's what car guys do. So we kind of took that approach of that's what Gas Monkey does. We just drink some beer and play with some cars and goof around. It's just like Saturday afternoon, but all week long.
Did you have any of a background in automobile knowledge? Did you know like how to fix things, or did you? Yeah,
I've never really been the full fabricator. You know, I understand everything and how it works, but I'm probably more of a business guy. So I was able to go out and hire good guys to do the fabricating stuff, and we've got a great team. But I did have the car knowledge, and I had the eyeball for what was good and keeping up with what was going to be happening and things like that. And that's kind of my strong suit, is saying, okay, Porsches are fixed to be popular, so we're going to get into 356s or Broncos like the one you drove in, or what have you. And I keep my eye on the market.
That's interesting. So but you still do keep your eye on the market. I saw that 68 that you have outside, the 68 Chevelle.
Yeah.
68? Is that what it is?
68 convertible.
God damn, that's a nice car.
It's probably the best one I've ever seen. I mean, from an original standpoint.
Yeah, it's mint. I mean, it's got little scuffs up. It's driven, but it's in perfect condition. It doesn't have any dents or anything wrong with it.
It's literally a little old lady from Pasadena. I mean, the lady bought it brand new, and she passed away a couple of years ago, and I bought it from her grandson.
Wow, what a cliche.
52,000 original miles, and never been wrecked. Never been.
Old lady from Pasadena is a cliche.
I know, right? It was technically Pomona, but
same shit. Wow, yeah, that car. Those. I mean, I've said this on the show a million times. I'm a giant fan of like the time period of 1965 to somewhere around like 71. They fell apart.
Yeah.
Like you still get a 71 Challenger, a 71 Barracuda, still pretty sweet.
For sure.
But then you get into like 72, 73.
They had to start putting the big bumpers on there with the shocks, and everything just got ugly.
It just fell apart.
Then you got the gas crunch, and then everything got 4 cylinders, and it was a bad time in the late 70s for sure.
It was a bad time, but it's a good time now. It's a really interesting time now for muscle cars. The race is so crazy that they're putting out street legal cars you could buy from a dealer with 700 plus horsepower, and almost every dealer has one now.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I've got a Demon myself, and
just
that's
crazy.
808 horsepower.
It's fucking crazy. Now the new GT500 is out. That's gonna have over 700 horsepower. You know, you have the Camaro what is it? 1LE. It's the no one. What is it? LT1 1LE? No, what the fuck is the name?
It's something
of the
like that.
ZL1 1LE. Yeah.
ZL, that's
Yeah,
it.
ZL1 1LE, which is 650 horsepower. And then the new ZR1 has 750 horsepower. They're just preposterous.
Oh, it's I think it could be a little dangerous. You know what? Everybody out there thinking, hey, I can drive a 700 horsepower car, because it's completely different than, you know, a normal one.
Well, did you see the video of the guy from one of the head guys at GM who took it on track? Like one of the first days they were releasing the car, and he spun out on the first turn and slammed into the wall.
Well, I can't say much. I wrecked a brand new Hellcat the other day racing at Woodward.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I went to Woodward Dream Cruise, and they had a little celebrity matchup, and I was racing and just lost it and hit the wall. Took out the whole side of the car.
Were you on a track or were you on a strip?
It was a street track that they had right there on Woodward Avenue. So they put up the blocks and you take off.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those Hellcats are beautiful, but they're not that great at cornering. It's still a giant car.
It's a big car.
Yeah.
Mustang and Camaro are going to do better in the corners for sure.
Yeah, the Hellcat has so much front. Like, there's so much out in front. I mean, it really does remind you more than any of those other cars, though, of those 1970 cars. You know, it really has that shape is more iconic. Like, if you look at a 1969 Camaro and then you look at a 2019 Camaro, you're like,
I don't see it.
That's not the same thing. But a Challenger really does look like that old car.
Well, Tim Kaniskis killed it. I mean, that was his whole passion project the whole time he was running Dodge, and he just absolutely nailed it.
Yeah, no, they did. They made a great-looking modern muscle car. The other ones are just great-looking cars. I mean, they are still muscle cars, but they don't really think. You don't really think about the old days when you see them.
Now they've tried, but they didn't get it as good as Dodge.
Now you guys make some fucking great builds too. You know, you guys have done some really sweet custom builds. Like you were telling me outside that the longest you do a build for is 25 days.
We've got it down to about 25 from 32-ish when we started. So when you see a car on the show, if it's a single episode, then we built that car in 25, 26 days.
That's crazy.
Start to finish, paint, interior, everything.
How do you do it so quick?
A lot of planning, and we've learned over 7 years now, and 130 of them, that, you know, we've just got our process in, and the crew that I have at the shop now is unbelievably phenomenal. And there's only 6 guys doing it. There's 6 guys that do it. 25 days, we're done.
That's insane. But what about, like, if you're going to do like custom suspension or, you know, Art Morrison chassis or something like that?
It just takes some planning. So literally what we do is we build the car 3 times. This is what I tell everybody. We'll say, okay, we're going to build this 68 Chevelle. And so we decide how we're going to build it and what kind of parts we're going to use, what kind of suspension, wheels, motor. We put all that down on paper. And then if it works mathematically for the project we want to do, then I go find the car. Then when I find the car, we order every single part. And we don't start that car until every single thing that was on that list is in-house, has been checked, and we're ready to go. So now all we've got is actual fabrication time and human error, and we're ready to go.
Still seems like such a short amount of time. I mean, all the builds that I've seen take 7 months, 9 months, a year.
It's just the shops are set up differently. It may be 1 or 2 guys, or maybe they've got kind of, you know, assembly programs going on or what have you. But we get in there like, you'll love the one we're building right now. We're building a 77 International Scout, and started with a really nice one, orange, white stripes, plaid interior. I mean, the whole ball of wax. Whack the chassis out from under it, put in a full Chris Austin Chassis Works chassis with only 2-wheel drive, and it's all 2018 Hellcat 8-speed automatic.
Oh, Jesus.
In it, and slammed on the ground. But it's still a removable top, and whatever. It's a great California truck, I guarantee you that.
Oh, wow. So you made it, so you lowered it.
Yeah, we're calling it the Hell Scout.
Ah, wow. That's pretty badass.
It's going to be a wicked car.
Yeah, those Hellcat chassis, Jonathan Ward, the same guy who's doing this, is who did my Bronco, the Icon. Mm-hmm. They're doing that with one of the, I think it's a Superbird, one of those iconic Mopars from the late 60s, early 70s. They're doing a full Hellcat chassis and the whole deal with that.
Oh, really? That'd be wicked.
Yeah. What company was the first one to really get stupid with these cars? I guess it was kind of Corvette with the ZR1 with horsepower figures.
Yeah, for sure. Corvette stepped out there with the ZR1 and started cranking it up. Everybody was kind of in production. You had the resurgence of Shelby.
Yeah, there it is. There's Jonathan Ward's.
Wow.
Look at that thing.
That's good looking.
That is like literally like trying to have a block, like a city block on wheels that you take around a corner. Look how long that goddamn thing is.
Yeah, that's going to be a fresh car.
Yeah,
for sure.
Badass. He does some awesome shit over there too. He's doing some. Well, he's doing one that I don't think he can talk about. I think he's keeping it under wraps, but he's got a bunch of cool shit.
Yeah, for sure.
Have you ever been there?
I have not, but
It's right down the street.
I know.
Go visit afterwards.
We might. I don't think
I'll
I'm going to make
call him
my
up.
flight.
When's your flight?
I don't know. I got a couple of them on hold. Notice I said I got a couple on hold because I don't think I make enough money for a plane yet. I'm going to talk to Disco on that.
What, like a private plane? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, we're all scrambling for something.
Yeah, that's the ultimate scramble, the private jet money. But that is just so much fucking money. That seems
It
pretty
is a little
ridiculous.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I'd like to have a tricked out one. Gas monkey on it. Big old monkey on the tail.
gas
maybe.
with a keg in it somewhere.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Now, when you do these shows and you bargain people down and then they watch the show, do people ever get pissed?
I've had a few. And in the first few years, they were just excited, that we were going to be doing something with the car. And there's always an element of sentiment to it. It was their dads or it was their moms or grandmas or whatever, and they want to see it go to a good home. So you got several different kind of people. They either want you to not do anything, or if you're going to fix it up, we want to see it, all kinds of things like that. But nowadays, it's a little more harder for me to get a decent deal because
people know
the success of the show. And I show up and they're like, "Oh, you're that guy on TV." No, I didn't say 10,000. I said 13.
Yeah. Well, I would imagine when people see what you sell them for after you fix them up, then they get a little upset.
Yeah. They can, but they don't understand the amount of work and time and money that we've put into it. Most of the cars that we're building on the show now, we're putting at least $100,000 in, and sometimes as much as 300.
Really?
We're building everything we're building now. When the new season comes out in June, people are going to be amazed because we're building this kind of stuff.
Wow,
and it's wicked cool.
And you're doing that in 25 days?
Yeah.
Fuck, man.
Just put together a good plan and execute it.
Well, it must be like a thing now because of the show that people want to get a gas monkey built car.
They do, but how would I say this diplomatically? If it weren't for employees, vendors, and customers, business would be great. So we don't do a lot for the customer until we've built it for ourselves, and then we sell it to them. But as far as coming in off the street, we just like building what we want to build, honing our skills, and then we find a buyer. Every once in a while, I'll have a guy come in and go, "Look, this is what I want, but I won't call you. I won't come in there with a new steering wheel." It's like that's why a lot of times cars do take 7 months or a year or whatever, because the guy that's having it built is in there every other weekend going, "Oh, I don't know, maybe we move this over here and paint it purple."
Oh, yeah, I get it. Yeah, no, it does seem like it would be way better to just build it how you like it and then sell it.
Well, yeah. It's still a business decision. I'm trying to build it to where I think it's going to do the most money at the end of the day, and stay true with what's going on as far as that particular car and what's going on in the marketplace and technology and what have you. And we do get a lot of calls where people come in and they go, "Okay, I want that exact same thing." And so we'll build another one.
Well, sometimes you do buy cars and then just sell them without doing anything to it, right?
Yeah. That's what we call our B stories. We'll buy something, bring it in, maybe just put some wheels on it or whatever. But usually it's just clean it up, get it running, sell somebody else the dream, because not everybody can afford a fully built car,
right?
Or they want to do it themselves. So we get them a good project.
Yeah, I don't think people realize how much money is involved in a fully built car.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.